Hey, welcome to today's chronological reading of the Word. We're going to be reading all the way through, so please stay focused and let's get started with the reading of the Word. Today's reading is coming from Isaiah chapter 5, verse 8 in the Berean Study Bible.
Isaiah chapter 5. I will sing for my beloved a song of his vineyard. My beloved had a vineyard on a very fertile hill. He dug it up and cleared the stones and planted the finest vines. He built a watchtower in the middle and dug out a winepress as well. He waited for the vineyard to yield good grapes, but the fruit it produced was sour. And now, O dwellers of Jerusalem and men of Judah, I exhort you to judge between me and my vineyard. What more could I have done for my vineyard than I already did for it? Why, when I expected sweet grapes, did it bring forth sour fruit? Now I will tell you what I am about to do to my vineyard. I will take away its hedge, and it will be consumed. I will tear down its wall, and it will be trampled. I will make it a wasteland, neither pruned nor cultivated, and thorns and briars will grow up. I will command the clouds that rain shall not fall on it. For the vineyard of the Lord of hosts is the house of Israel, and the men of Judah are the plant of his delight. He looked for justice, but saw bloodshed, for righteousness, but heard a cry of distress. Woe to you who add house to house and join field to field, until no place is left and you live alone in the land. I heard the Lord of hosts declare, surely many houses will become desolate, great mansions left unoccupied. For 10 acres of vineyard will yield but a bath of wine, and a homer of seed only an ephah of grain. Woe to those who rise early in the morning in pursuit of strong drink, who linger into the evening to be inflamed by wine. At their feasts are the lyre and harp, tambourines and flutes and wine. They disregard the actions of the Lord and fail to see the work of his hands. Therefore my people will go into exile for their lack of understanding. Their dignitaries are starving and their masses are parched with thirst. Therefore Sheol enlarges its throat and opens wide its enormous jaws, and down go Zion's nobles and masses, her revelers and carousers. So mankind will be brought low, and each man humbled. The arrogant will lower their eyes. But the Lord of hosts will be exalted by his justice, and the holy God will show himself holy in righteousness. Lambs will graze as in their own pastures, and strangers will feed in the ruins of the wealthy. Woe to those who draw iniquity with cords of deceit and pull sin along with cart ropes, to those who say, let him hurry and hasten his work so that we may see it. Let the plan of the Holy One of Israel come so that we may know it. Woe to those who call evil good and good evil, who turn darkness to light and light to darkness, who replace bitter with sweet and sweet with bitter. Woe to those who are wise in their own eyes and clever in their own sight. Woe to those who are heroes in drinking wine and champions in mixing strong drink, who acquit the guilty for a bribe and deprive the innocent of justice. Therefore, as a tongue of fire consumes the straw and as dry grass shrivels in the flame, so their roots will decay and their blossoms will blow away like dust, for they have rejected the instruction of the Lord of hosts and despised the word of the Holy One of Israel. Therefore the anger of the Lord burns against his people. His hand is raised against them to strike them down. The mountains quake, and the corpses lay like refuse in the streets. Despite all this, his anger is not turned away. His hand is still upraised. He lifts a banner for the distant nations and whistles for those at the ends of the earth. Behold, how speedily and swiftly they come. None of them grows weary or stumbles. No one slumbers or sleeps. No belt is loose and no sandal strap is broken. Their arrows are sharpened and all their bows are strung. The hooves of their horses are like flint. Their chariot wheels are like a whirlwind. Their roaring is like that of a lion. They roar like young lions. They growl and seize their prey. They carry it away from deliverance. In that day they will roar over it like the roaring of the sea. If one looks over the land, he will see darkness and distress. Even the light will be obscured by clouds. Isaiah chapter 6. In the year that King Uzziah died, I saw the Lord seated on a throne, high and exalted, and the train of his robe filled the temple. Above him stood seraphim, each having 6 wings. With 2 wings they covered their faces, with 2 they covered their feet, and with 2 they were flying. And they were calling out to one another, Holy, holy, holy is the Lord of hosts. All the earth is full of his glory. At the sound of their voices, the doorposts and thresholds shook, and the temple was filled with smoke. Then I said, Woe is me, for I am ruined, because I am a man of unclean lips, dwelling among a people of unclean lips, for my eyes have seen the King, the Lord of hosts. Then one of the seraphim flew to me, and in his hand was a glowing coal that he had taken with tongs from the altar. And with it he touched my mouth and said, Now that this has touched your lips, your iniquity is removed, and your sin is atoned for. Then I heard the voice of the Lord saying, Whom shall I send? Who will go for us? And I said, Here am I, send me. And he replied, Go and tell this people, Be ever hearing but never understanding, be ever seeing but never perceiving. Make the hearts of this people calloused, deafen their ears and close their eyes. Otherwise they might see with their eyes, hear with their ears, understand with their hearts, and turn and be healed. Then I asked, How long, O Lord? And he replied, Until the cities lie ruined and without inhabitant, until the houses are left unoccupied and the land is desolate and ravaged, until the Lord has driven men far away and the land is utterly forsaken. And though 1/10 remains in the land, it will be burned again. As the terebinth and oak leave stumps when felled, so the holy seed will be a stump in the land. Isaiah chapter 7. Now in the days that Ahaz, son of Jotham, the son of Uzziah, was king of Judah, Rezin, king of Aram, marched up to wage war against Jerusalem. He was accompanied by Pekah, son of Remaliah, the king of Israel, but he could not overpower the city. When it was reported to the house of David that Aram was in league with Ephraim, the hearts of Ahaz and his people trembled like trees in the forest shaken by the wind. Then the Lord said to Isaiah, Go out with your son Shear-Jashub to meet Ahaz at the end of the aqueduct that feeds the upper pool on the road to the launderer's field, and say to him, Calm down and be quiet. Do not be afraid or disheartened over these 2 smoldering stubs of firewood, over the fierce anger of Rezin and Aram and of the son of Remaliah. For Aram, along with Ephraim and the son of Remaliah, has plotted your ruin, saying, Let us invade Judah, terrorize it, and divide it among ourselves. Then we can install the son of Tabiel over it as king. But this is what the Lord God says. It will not arise, it will not happen. For the head of Aram is Damascus, and the head of Damascus is Rezin. Within 65 years Ephraim will be shattered as a people. The head of Ephraim is Samaria, and the head of Samaria is the son of Remaliah. If you do not stand firm in your faith, then you will not stand at all. Again the Lord spoke to Ahaz, saying, Ask for a sign from the Lord your God, whether from the depths of Sheol or the heights of heaven. But Ahaz replied, I will not ask, I will not test the Lord. Then Isaiah said, Hear now, O house of David, is it not enough to try the patience of men? Will you try the patience of my God as well? Therefore the Lord himself will give you a sign. Behold, the virgin will be with child and will give birth to a son and will call him Emmanuel. By the time he knows enough to reject evil and choose good, he will be eating curds and honey. For before the boy knows enough to reject evil and choose good, the land of the 2 kings you dread will be laid waste. The Lord will bring on you and on your people and on the house of your father a time unlike any since the day Ephraim separated from Judah. He will bring the king of Assyria. On that day the Lord will whistle to the flies at the farthest streams of the Nile and to the bees in the land of Assyria. And they will all come and settle in the steep ravines and clefts of the rocks, in all the thorn bushes and watering holes. On that day the Lord will use a razor hired from beyond the Euphrates, the king of Assyria, to shave your head and the hair of your legs, and to remove your beard as well. On that day a man will raise a young cow and 2 sheep, and from the abundance of milk they give he will eat curds, for all who remain in the land will eat curds and honey. And on that day, in every place that had 1,000 vines worth 1,000 shekels of silver, only briars and thorns will be found. Men will go there with bow and arrow, for the land will be covered with briars and thorns. For fear of the briars and thorns, you will no longer traverse the hills once tilled by the hoe. They will become places for oxen to graze and sheep to trample. Isaiah chapter 8. Then the Lord said to me, Take a large scroll and write on it with an ordinary stylus, Maher-shalal-Hashbaz. And I will appoint for myself trustworthy witnesses, Uriah the priest and Zechariah son of Jeberechiah. And I had relations with a prophetess, and she conceived and gave birth to a son. The Lord said to me, Name him Maher-shalal-Hashbaz. For before the boy knows how to cry father or mother, the wealth of Damascus and the plunder of Samaria will be carried off by the king of Assyria. And the Lord spoke to me further, Because this people has rejected the gently flowing waters of Shiloah and rejoiced in Rezin and the son of Remaliah, the Lord will surely bring against them the mighty floodwaters of the Euphrates, the king of Assyria, and all his pomp. It will overflow its channels and overrun its banks. It will pour into Judah, swirling and sweeping over it, reaching up to the neck. Its spreading streams will cover your entire land, O Emmanuel. Huddle together, O peoples, and be shattered. Pay attention, all you distant lands. Prepare for battle and be shattered. Prepare for battle and be shattered. Devise a plan, but it will be thwarted. State a proposal, but it will not happen, for God is with us. For this is what the Lord has spoken to me with a strong hand, instructing me not to walk in the way of this people. Do not call conspiracy everything these people regard as conspiracy. Do not fear what they fear. Do not live in dread. The Lord of hosts is the one you shall regard as holy. Only he should be feared. Only he should be dreaded. And he will be a sanctuary, but to both houses of Israel a stone of stumbling and a rock of offense, to the dwellers of Jerusalem a trap and a snare. Many will stumble over these, they will fall and be broken, they will be ensnared and captured. Bind up the testimony and seal the law among my disciples. I will wait for the Lord, who is hiding his face from the house of Jacob. I will put my trust in him. Here am I and the children the Lord has given me as signs and symbols in Israel from the Lord of hosts who dwells on Mount Zion. When men tell you to consult the spirits of the dead and the spiritists who whisper and mutter, shouldn't a people consult their God instead? Why consult the dead on behalf of the living? To the law and to the testimony. If they do not speak according to this word, they have no light of dawn. They will roam the land, dejected and hungry. When they are famished, they will become enraged, and looking upward, they will curse their king and their God. Then they will look to the earth and see only distress and darkness and the gloom of anguish, and they will be driven into utter darkness.
Thanks for listening to the daily chronological reading of the Word. Please subscribe to the channel if you'd like to follow along every day. Use the link in the description to get notified to listen daily. And you can also visit our website each day for the link to the daily reading. God bless and stay on mission.